We expect that he'll be taken straight to his residence, which is where he'll be expected to spend much of his time while he's out on bail until his trial begins. And that might not happen for several months from now. But we're seeing on Japanese TV a sort of loop of that moment when Carlos Ghosn, who was dressed in a light blue baseball cap, a dark blue, what looked like a prison suit, prison uniform, and also a white surgical mask, was escorted out of the entrance of the detention centre by several officials. It's not clear if he'll speak to the media today, probably not, but I believe from Japanese media reports that he does plan to speak publicly about his detention and about the case at some point in the near future, because he's not under house arrest. The conditions of his bail are very strict, but he is allowed a certain degree of freedom of movement.
Justin, how much interest is there in Tokyo to this? I mean, presumably people have been following, because he's such a cult figure, isn't he, Carlos Ghosn there?
He is. Well, if you think about the level of interest in France, in other parts of the world, particularly where Nissan and Renault and Mitsubishi have a presence, then it makes sense that the interest is extremely high here in Japan as well, particularly given Carlos Ghosn's history, somebody who was sent from Renault 20 years ago to save Nissan from bankruptcy and forge that very successful alliance with Renault and then Mitsubishi Motors, and has now undergone this very dramatic fall from grace, apparently at the hands of his erstwhile colleagues of Nissan. So yes, I mean, most of the Japanese private TV networks, certainly the public broadcaster NHK, have been updating viewers on the situation with regards to Ghosn's release from custody throughout the day, and I expect that's going to remain the case for the rest of the day and tomorrow, when we might see Carlos Ghosn appear in public.
Justin, thanks.